Good night, how everyone doing today? Tonight, my name is Irma J, the creator of the world, and I'm here to give you some news and the word on tonight. So I have uh, a little update on the news. Still updating on the baby formula. You know, so I understand the struggles you're mad and frustrated of the baby formula. I understand. I had two kids myself, and I know it can be scary to have a little small baby, and you can't find no milk, and you can't find no milk for the baby. I had two small kids. I understand. I checked my own self. Everything is just sold out. Everything is just sold out. So my only solution I came up with. What about switching the formula brand? But first, I need y'all to talk to your provider first before you decide to switch. Because they have formula, but you just have to switch the brand if you can. Talk to your provider first, and see if you can switch the formula. Don't juice no cane milk and none of that kind of stuff because it's gonna be too heavy for the baby's stomach. So ask your provider, can you switch the formula? Because the brand that y'all all use is all out of stock everywhere. So that was the only thing I can come up with of switching the brand. But talk to your provider first before you decide to switch the formula. So that's all I have for you today. And I do have a word on tonight. And the title is gonna be Daniel, Vision of a Man. All these visions, all these stories, it always lead up to a meaning of what God trying to get across. Daniel, he about to receive revelation from an angel that God would send in Daniel vision. So Daniel fast. He fast for 3 weeks. No food, no drink, no meat, no nothing. So now Daniel, after his fasting, then he sees this vision of a man. He sees this vision of a man. Clothes with linen. Now this man that he see is dressed like a supernatural being. He have everything strapped around his waist like he ready for a spiritual warfare. He ready to fight something spiritual. That's the kind of man he saw in his vision. So his clothes and linen, clearly he is a supernatural being who tell him that he is currently engaged in a battle. With a prince of prison in which he assists by Michael. Now also this angel of a man will encourage him and give him hope. All this occur in the vision. Now this spiritual person, he come down here to warn Daniel that he about to be in a spiritual battle. And he also gonna encourage him also. Get him ready for this battle. So that's what God sent him down here to let him know you about to be in a spiritual walk. So you prepare him, don't be afraid, so this man here gonna encourage him and everything else before this walk. So in 24 days, he looked up, there was a man dressed in linen. He had the belt around him, he had gold around his waist, he was dressed clearly like a supernatural being. Now Daniel had men. Now he had men with him. Us spiritual beings, we can always see stuff, but we the only one can see it. So the men was with Daniel, they didn't see what he saw. He was the only one was able to see this man in his vision. But you had other men right there that could not see it. But they got frightened, I guess, from the lightning because they said the man was lighting up and everything else. The other men didn't see the man, but they also saw the lightning and everything else where they was afraid, they was overwhelmed, so they flee and hide themselves. So I mean, Daniel was up there by himself. Daniel is left alone, glazing in his great vision. So remember, Daniel fasts for 3 weeks. Now he's seeing this vision after his fast, so he still never ate nothing. His mouth stood closed for the whole 3 weeks. So he is seeing all this, and he don't have no strength at all. Daniel face had got pale from not eating. And he was helpless. So he's seeing all this here while he all weak and helpless. For not eating in 3 weeks. So he haven't spoke either in 3 weeks. So while this man is talking and Daniel trying to listen to the man, he fell into a deep sleep by being so weak and nauseous. He fell in a deep sleep with his face down to the ground. So that's how weak he was. So he said, Daniel, you who you highly esteem. So he told Daniel, he got a higher position from God, to fight this spiritual warfare. So he also told Daniel, on the first day, Daniel had set his mind to gain understanding, and humble himself before God. His word was heard. So once he was able to get understanding, and once he was able to humble himself, and he prayed to God, that first time God received it. That's why he fasts. Sometimes you have to fast in order to get some kind of response, or for God to get God attention. Remember, he fasted for 3 weeks. He prayed to God. So when he got understanding and he humbled himself to God, God heard. And that's when the man told him, God heard your words. So the vision of the man came down to warn Daniel about this king, Pizon. This king he gonna have to fight. He gonna have to fight with. So this messenger came down here to warn Daniel, but that king got hold to him first and bind him for 21 days. He been supposed to come down to Daniel, but that king captured him and entertained him for 21 days. So he told Daniel, I have come to explain to you what will happen to your people in the future, for the vision concerned a time yet to come. Now see, God always write a plan out. Okay? God already know the beginning to the end. And he is an awesome, amazing God that he will always give you heads up. So he sent somebody to give Daniel heads up about, okay, you about to be fighting in a spiritual war. So Daniel, it wasn't happening right now, but he also said in a time yet to come. So he let him know it will come, to prepare yourself. That's why I always say you always have to be armed with the armor of God. You have to be dressed with the armor of God at all times, because we're not just only fighting human being, we also fighting spiritual warfare. Like I said, so many people fighting spiritual warfare. So that's why we always have to be armed. We always have to be dressed with the armor of God. I fast every morning before I leave this house, because you got to be dressed. You got to dress with that armor of God. Before you even leave your house. You got to be dressed with it. So God warned him that you about to be in a fight with this king here. See, God already see what's going on behind our back. He already know what's about to be happening. So God already be writing up a plan for our life, because he already know the beginning to the end. So he said this is going to happen, but yet to come. And it's not happening now, but yet to come, it will happen. So Daniel fasts with his mouth closed, and he look like a man touched his lip. So he fasts. He kept his mouth closed. Remember, he said he ain't spoken in 3 weeks. So this man doing all that talking to him, touch his mouth, touch his lip, and then his mouth opened, and he started speaking. He started speaking after the man touched his mouth. Because his mouth got kind of stuck together from being closed for 3 weeks. So now all this taking place after he was fasting. And he's still so weak with no strength. So after Daniel told him that he have no strength. See, the man's trying to talk to Daniel. And Daniel bent over. He's so weak, he ain't had no strength. That's how he just fell down, face down to the ground, and went into a deep sleep. Because he bent over with no strength. He just so weak. So the man's trying to talk to him and giving him instruction, letting him know what's about to take place. But by Daniel, so weak and hungry, he can't comprehend what the man's saying right now. So after Daniel told the man, he have no strength. So the same man that touched his lip is the same man is about to touch him again to give him strength. So this a man that came down, got supernatural power. Remember he dressed on with the weapon all around his side and everything else. So the man touched him, and then Daniel started receiving strength. He started receiving strength. Then he told the man to go ahead on and speak, Lord. He said, speak, I'm ready. I got you, give me strength. So now this man is about to encourage Daniel. He about to warn him about this king he about to fight with. So this man said, he encouraged him. Now he telling Daniel, you about to fight this war. So he telling Daniel, don't be afraid. This man, so he's saying you is highly esteemed from God. So God giving him supernatural powers to fight this king, anything that come his way. So he said, peace, be strong. Then he told him again, be strong. So God give you this power. God give you this strength. God said he give you a higher esteemed power. To fight all these, give him supernatural power. To fight these kings. You remember, he fighting a spiritual warfare. So he encouraged Daniel because he's about to deal with this king. He about to fight with this king. So after he said that, Daniel started strengthening up, and he said, speak, my Lord. After he started getting his strength, he said, speak. Now, since you give me strength, I'm able to listen to what you have to say. So before the man left, before this man left, now he gave him all information that he need, and also encouraged him at the end. He told him to be strong, don't be afraid. So now he about to leave. He said, before I leave, he said, let me tell you what is written in this book of truth. So that was the last word he said. That was the last word he said. So let me read this over here. Spiritual battle. Here God pulled back the curtain for a moment to give Daniel insight into the ongoing spiritual warfare that occurred between the agent of darkness and the agent of peace. Now the king of Persia is probably not a human king. So this king here is not him. See, that's why God told him, you about to fight a spiritual battle. Because they're saying here, this king here is not human. So that's why God had to give Daniel power to fight this spiritual battle. Or he have been no match for one of God's angels. More like this king is a demon. Remember they called him Michael. His name Persian, the prince of Persia, but also they said Michael. So Michael is really is engaging these kings to fight Daniel. So more likely this king is a demon, one of Satan's missionary. Now this demon commission is to torture God's messenger. And remember, God sent his messengers down to look for Daniel. Satan had grabbed him first, have him down for 21 days before he even get to Daniel. So who had been sent to Daniel to bring encouragement and hope. Now the power of the unseen world are at work today also. This is why Paul warned us in the New Testament to put on the full armor of God. And when we fully equipped for the battle, we can have victory. We can have victory in Christ Jesus. And that, now Ephesians, that's putting on the armor of God. Putting on the armor of God. That's why I had preached on that about 2 or 3 times that you have to be dressed with the armor of God. That's why the man came down to Daniel all scrapped up, looking like a supernatural being. Because see, Daniel got to deal with this king that is not even human. So that's why God had to give him the higher esteem power for Daniel to be able to fight this king that's not even human. So when we fighting spiritual warfare, we fighting stuff that's not even human. Sometimes it may be half human and half a spiritual being. So that's why your Bible come in hand of fighting spiritual warfare. Unless God give you that power, like He had to give Daniel to fight his spiritual battle. So it also said put on the full armor of God. That's why God had to get up in his power. That's why God gave him spiritual power, because he about to fight something that's not even human. So okay, so now God will always give us heads up. I just read a passage about the ladder that was Jacob. He gave Jacob a whole platform of what about to happen with the Israelite. The Israelite was just Jacob family. And at that time when God came to Jacob, he ain't had no family there. So he let him know your family gonna be the one that's gonna multiply and make a great nation. So God will always write up a plan, but He also will come in your vision or in your dream to let you know what's about to occur. So God will always give you heads up in your dream or either your vision. Now He sent a messenger to look at the man, with dress in the supernatural being. So ready for war. The way he was dressed, he was ready for war. Now he come down to Daniel in a vision to warn him and encourage him also, that he will be in a war against the prince or princess. So he letting him know. Now see, Daniel, he did not know this vision was going to be letting him know he about to be in a spiritual battle. So, and the man just kept on telling him, well, you is higher esteem. I mean, God give you this power to fight this battle. So that's why so he was to be in a spiritual war with this king here, with this king who is not human. So a spiritual battle. This is not a regular battle you normally do. This is a spiritual battle. See, God already know this king was about to come to Daniel anyway. So that's why God had to let him know you about to be in a spiritual battle. See, God already know what's about to happen behind our back, and God already started writing out a plan, for us to get out of it. So that's why every day we have to put on the full armor of God. We not only fighting human enemies, but we fighting spiritual, natural beings also. You fighting a spiritual warfare. I mean, that ain't nothing nice. That's why God gave him that gift. You got to have some kind of gift to fight these spiritual warfare that you fight. And you need these powerful scriptures also to read, to fight some of that stuff out. We have to be on our guard at all times. Because when God chosen or either God righteous person, you don't have to be chosen. You can just be God righteous person. Here come the devil. Here come the birds. You know, the devil gonna always be monitoring God's people. You know, and always gonna try to stray you away from God. You know, so it's a lot of time. A lot of time God will test your faith. You know, he let Joe get into that he let Joe get into that battle. You know, with the devil, because see, God had faith in Joe. God had faith in Joe. He know Joe wasn't gonna curse him out. You know, and Joe stood on his ground. Because see, when the devil attack you, the devil always gonna try to look what he did to Jesus. Jesus fasted for 40 days. The devil gonna tell him, you know, just come with me. Just bow down to me. I give you all this here. You know, knowing God on all this here. You know, Jesus told him, you get behind me, Satan. You get behind me. You know, because Jesus already know you don't own nothing here. This my father. Hey, this is my father world. You know, so Satan can't give you nothing that don't even belong to Satan. But that's how Satan is. He'll try to manipulate your mind. You know, if he can manipulate your mind, he'll get you to bow down to him. And you remember them three guys? Them three guys refused to bow down to somebody that pretending to be God. And when they refused to bow down to them, they put them in that fight. And guess what? God saved them. When they came out that fight, they ain't had no burn, no smell, no nothing on it. You know, so you have to be praised up. You have to have that full armor of God on you at all times. You know, because the devil come in all kind of disguises. You know, he come as a good girl, a good guy. You know, he can come in all kind of disguises. And you'll let your guard down thinking they're nice and sweet. And all the while, you know, the devil gonna always send agents to you. You know, so you have to be scrapped and you have to be alert at all times. You know, I know that's sad to live like this here, but the world has changed these days. You know, you have to have knowledge. You have to have discernment. You know, you have to have discernment. Now, before I tried to do my own video to talk to you all, the Satan knocked on my door. You know, want me to give you full information on something that you're a stranger knocking on my door. You know, so that's what I'm saying. You have to have knowledge. You have to have discernment to know when to make decisions and how to make decisions. You know, so that's why you have to constantly read that word and you got to meditate on it. When you have a situation like that, you have to think quick. You know, because you don't think quick and you make a wrong decision, you know, it may affect you for the rest of your life, or it may affect you temporary. You know, it may affect you that you guessing yourself from now on. You know, so we have the full armor of God on, because you got to realize we're not fighting human beings, we fight spiritual. You know, so God had to let Daniel know you about to be in a fight. And you not about to be in no regular fight. You about to be in a fight with a king that's not even human. You know, so at least God get him heads up. You know, give him time to get yourself together and get scrapped up. You know, so that man came down here as an angel and to warn Daniel that you about to be in a fight. And then after he won and let Daniel know he about to be in a fight, then he encouraged him. You know, he said, be strong. And told him twice, be strong. Don't be afraid. Have peace. You know, because God give you a higher position to fight these things. You know, so you're going to be okay. You know, so, and so this angel man also said, before I leave, I'm going to tell you about this book of truth. And it just went off like that. You know, so I had to do more research on that. But in the Bible, that it just went off like that. He said, you got to tell me about the book of truth. You know, the only book of truth I know is the Bible. It's the Bible. You know, so Daniel had to prepare himself for this spiritual warfare that he about to enter. You know, and it's the same man that bind this man for 21 days when he was trying to come to let Daniel know that's the same king that Daniel about to fight. You know, so this is a powerful king because he's not human. So he have natural power. So that's why God had to give Daniel natural power to fight this king that's not even human. You know, so I hope y'all have a blessed day. And I'm gonna keep on praying and keep on doing research on this formula. You know, because I had two children myself, two babies myself, so I know how it is. You know, you need milk for those babies. You know, so I'm gonna keep on doing my research. But in the time being, talk to your provider and see if you can switch your formula brain. You know, if that's possible. You know, so we still gonna be praying and still be I'm gonna still be looking into how to create this solution right here. You know, come up with a solution right here. And you know, also if anyone needs to talk to me about anything, bring anything to my attention, my email will be down below. You know, so I hope y'all have a blessed night. And always remember, you always have to be alert because you're not just only fighting human. Um, you're not only fighting human enemies, you're also fighting spiritual warfare. So we have to be prepared at all times. So y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all in the next video.